Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Fire Red with only one Bellsprout was brutal, so let's do a run where our stats are even worse. Today's the day that we figure out would I be able to beat Pokemon Fire Red with a team of only one Whismur. Right off the bat, would you look at these stats? I genuinely had no idea that Whismur's stats were this low until I looked it up. Base stat total of 240. That puts his overall stats a little bit lower than that of Zubat, and around a lot of baby Pokemon. We're incredibly slow and have almost no defense or special defense. We have a decent bit of health, and our attack might be enough if we overlevel like crazy, but our abysmal speed is probably going to mean that we need to heavily rely on Quick Claw yet again. Our level of moves actually aren't that bad, although they aren't exactly amazing either. Interestingly enough, we can get pretty good type coverage with TMs, including Ice Beam, so that's always good to see. So this will be a run where we have some good moves, but horrible stats. We haven't had a situation like that in a while. Like always, I'm writing the script as I go through with the challenge, so all this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I'm gonna say that I can win, but the horrible speed makes me think that I might have to resort to double team by the end. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use one Whismur. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So right off the bat, I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Charmander with Whismur so that I can do the whole run with it. I name him the Great ST, because that's all that fit. If even one person in the comments section is able to figure out what I'm referencing with that one, I will be incredibly impressed. Our nature is docile, so neutral stat gains. For our ability, we have Soundproof. That makes us immune to sound-based attacks. Those are reasonably rare, but I bet it'll come in handy in some surprising ways. We start with Pound and Uproar. Neither is great, but Uproar is a bit stronger of a move than we usually start with, so at least it'll make grinding in the forest a little bit faster. Viridian Forest is actually a lot easier than usual, just because Uproar with the same type attack bonus is reasonably strong compared to what I'm fighting, although getting Poison still results in fainting most of the time. At level 16, I had taken out every single trainer in the forest and the gym, as well as quite a few wild Pokemon, so I give Brock a try. For Geodude, I just used 6 Howls right away to build up some attack power. Geodude spent a lot of that time using Defense Curl to negate us, but I'll still need the attack power for if I make it to Onix. By the time we started using Uproar, we still weren't doing much damage, but we quickly landed a critical hit to take him out. As Onix comes out, we still don't do much damage with the 6 attack raises, but he also hardly did anything to us thanks to Onix having terrible attack stat. We ended up beating Brock at the first try at only level 16 as a normal type. I really didn't see that coming. I make sure to fight every last trainer that I can going forward. Normally I wouldn't because I don't think that I need that for Misty, but I remember how bad it is to grind near Celadon if you end up reaching there without being strong enough to beat your rival. The last thing I want is to get stuck having to grind against Ekans with Intimidate and Poison Sting. On our way though, I took the Helix Fossil. I knew that if I didn't say what I took, you'd all ask. Actually, now that I think about it, everyone ask anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Can I just say, by the way, that I love that you guys say this same thing on all kinds of different channels across the internet now, even including non-Pokemon ones? I just love that I've accidentally made a trend that ended up supporting all kinds of YouTubers. I mean, you guys have always been asking me how you can help support the channel. I guess this is the best way to do it, just comment. Before I get to Celadon, I go to the Mega Kick move tutor to replace Pound. It's only got 75 accuracy, but it's a 120 power normal move. So with the same type attack bonus, this could actually be really strong. I tried to use it to beat Misty's Water Gym, but I ended up going down for the exact reason you're probably predicting. Terrible defense stat mixed with terrible speed. Let's try the rival instead. He actually ended up being a total pushover since I could sweep his team with Mega Kick. After the fight, I started to learn Stomp, so I replaced Uproar. Stomp is stronger, and I don't have to commit to using it multiple turns in a row if I don't want to. Plus, it causes flinching, although we're so slow that I don't think it'll ever happen in a major fight. After taking out the northern trainers, we're at a much higher level, and Misty's Water Gym goes great between Mega Kick and Stomp. I kinda get the feeling that this easy early game isn't gonna last much longer though. As soon as we start regularly fighting more evolved Pokemon, I think we're gonna start to really slow down on making progress. Time for a rival on the SSN. Right away, things start great as Pidgeotto uses Gust instead of Sand Attack, so we Mega Kicked him down. Raticate hits Tail Whip on us, but still goes down to 1 Stomp. Kadabra is next, so I use Mega Kick, knowing that he'd probably disable Stomp, but our kick misses anyway. He then hit Kinesis to lower our accuracy, so Mega Kick misses again. Next turn though, we hit Stomp, so at least he didn't hurt us. Last is Wartortle, and I just keep missing Mega Kick while he's buffing his defense. My last kick hits him for big damage, but we have to switch for Stomp, and it's missing. Eventually, when we were about to go down, we finally hit the final Stomp. The Electric Gym was pretty easy on the first try thanks to his whole team having low defense and health. We did get paralyzed and Raichu even used Double Team, but we got lucky and hit a Mega Kick on the first try, so he went down pretty fast. Rock Tunnel is exactly as awful as you would expect it to be. We don't have anything good to deal with rock types yet, so we pretty much have to howl a bunch and hope that Mega Kick lands. Unfortunately, that means it takes quite a few attempts before we actually make it through Rock Tunnel. On the other side, I decide to go straight for the Grass Gym. Right away, Victory Bell does massive damage to us with Giga Drain, and we almost one-shot it with a Mega Kick, but she heals and nails us with another Giga Drain to almost take us out. We managed to stomp her down as Tangela comes out, but thanks to our speed advantage, we actually cause her to flinch and got an easy 2-shot as a result. Last is Vileplume, and we hit a big Mega Kick, but go down to Acid. If we were just a couple levels higher, we'd probably one-shot Victory Bell and take less damage. At level 40, we still lose every time though, so I decide to just clean out the trainers in the Rocket Hideout to get a little bit more experience. I wish I could just buy Ice Beam, but you have to buy it with coins, and I don't want to sit around gambling forever when I know I could probably just convert my money into coins later in the game. Finally, at level 42, we're able to finally Mega Kick our way through Erica's Grass Gym pretty quickly. Vileplume still gives us plenty of issues, and we for sure could have lost, but luck was on our side and Paralysis didn't mess us up too badly. Giovanni ended up being a really easy fight, although it's mostly just because he opened with Onix and kept picking really weak moves, so we had 6 full turns to max out our attack buffs before sweeping through his entire team with Stomp and Mega Kick. I'm just happy that I didn't need Ice Beam yet. Last in this area is the Pokemon Tower rival fight. Pidgeotto is first, but he only got a single quick attack in before we take him down. Growlithe is second, so we lose attack to Intimidate, but Mega Kick still one-shots it. Execute Leech Seeds us, but we still 2-shot it, and Kadabra went down in 1 hit. Last was Wartortle, and our health was about half. Mega Kick hits pretty hard, but it held on, and we hit Water Gun to drop us to only 30 health. We finished it off with Stomp to win the fight. So to be able to climb Pokemon Tower, we need to be able to hit ghosts, and relying on Supersonic for that would be horrible, so we use the Water Pulse TM that we got from Misty. I've been holding off on learning this move because it's not a very strong move, but we need something, and it's the best that we've got until we have the money for Ice Beam. Speaking of new moves, leveling up off the trainers on my way to the Poison Gym got us Hyper Voice. It's nothing too amazing, just a 90 power 100 accuracy normal move with no side effect, but between the same type attack bonus and it being 100 accuracy, it's really not that bad. We still do lose to trainers pretty often though. Pretty much any time that they have 4 or more Pokemon and they like to use Poison, we tend to go down. Speaking of, Poison Gym time! Mega Kick one-shots the first Coughing, and Muck was next. We hit it hard with Mega Kick, but he used Minimize, so I follow up with Hyper Voice to lower my chance of missing. It took him out, and the second Coughing survived a Mega Kick, but he hardly hurt us and just healed, so 2 shots took him down after that. Last was Wheezing, who smoke screened us, so our Hyper Voice missed twice in a row, then we got shot down with Sludge. Failing that, I go to Silphco to fight more trainers. For once, we actually aren't doing this for levels quite as much as we're doing it for the money. Although the experience is absolutely nice, we really need to get Ice Beam at some point, and Flamethrower might not be bad either. I'm gonna need a lot of money to buy those though, so I have to beat up a lot of trainers. Back at the Poison Gym, and this one took tons of tries, but eventually I managed to get a run where I hit Mega Kick enough times and no one blew up. This took forever because of all the smoke screens they like to use, but it was either that or power leveling since we can't learn any super effective moves for against poison types. I try the Fire Gym next, but it's not even close. They're faster, we take tons of damage, and the only water move that we can learn is really weak. I might not be ready for the Fire Gym for a long time, and that has me worried because I don't think we're ready for the rival fight either. Regardless, I decide to try fighting him anyway. Pidgeot takes a solid third of my health with Wing Attack before I take him down, and Growlithe is second, so I lose some attack. We one-shot him with Water Pulse, and Execute is next. We do quite a bit of damage, but he paralyzes us before we take him down. Alakazam came out, let off a Future Sight, almost went down to Hyper Voice, then he tried to use Future Sight again for some reason. They don't stack. We took him down and Blastoise was last. He actually used Protect to stall so that we'd get hit by Future Sight, then he easily finished us off. I'm surprised that we even got that far. I try again after clearing out all of the trainers from the building. I also used Howl one time when his Growlithe came out to offset Intimidate. Because of that, I was able to easily take out Execute before I could get paralyzed, one-shot Alakazam without having the threat of Future Sight, and we got to Blastoise in better shape. He's still faster and can bite hard, but Hyper Voice does over half of his health and damage. His Water Gun almost finished us off, but we finally hung on and finally took him out. Giovanni was right after, and for once, he was actually pretty difficult. Nidorina was a one-shot with Mega Kick, but Nidoqueen was second. She slammed us, and we used Water Pulse on her to try and avoid contact, but it was just too weak. So I Mega Kicked her down, getting poisoned by Poison Point in return. Kangaskhan never hurt us, but we've been tail-whipped twice by this point. Thankfully, Rhyhorn was a one-shot with Water Pulse. That was getting rough. After that was the Psychic Gym. This one is usually just a sweep, but because of our low speed, they could have easily taken us out. But they kept using Future Sight instead of good moves, so even with me making really dumb mistakes like trying Hyper Voice against Mr. Mime, even though he has soundproof, I still beat this first try. I try the Fire Gym again, and it starts better with us one-shotting Growlithe, but we ended up taking tons of damage from Ponyta's Fire Blast because it just hung on with a sliver. Next turn, Blaine used a Hyper Potion, and then we one-shot it, so it must have been a damage range. Rapidash nearly took us out, bringing us to only 5 health, and the only reason we were able to take it out is because Water Pulse caused confusion, and that made him waste his turn with a full heal, but Arcanine just finished us off. I decided to take this opportunity to grind on the Cycling Road trainers with the Versus Seeker. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it gets us good money, and I still really want that Ice Beam TM at this point. I figure that I need to gain a few more levels if I'm going to win the fight anyway. Sure, Fire Blast can miss, but his whole team has it, and it's an 85 accuracy move that does tons of damage. I would have to get really, really lucky, and I'd rather not rely that much on luck if I can reasonably avoid it. I tried the Fire Gym again at level 63, and I actually did pretty well, but it's only because I got insanely lucky, and Fire Blast missed twice. Isn't it the worst when you get stuck on a gym, but you know you could already beat the gym after it? Finally, at level 69, nice, we managed to sweep his team leading up to Arcanine, then we got to use Water Pulse twice, thanks to Arcanine missing one of his Fire Blasts. I was actually using Quick Claw and hoping to just go first, but this works just as well. Last for the gyms is Giovanni's Ground Gym, but it was pretty much just a sweep with Water Pulse as you'd probably expect. It's funny to think that the 8th gym is usually the easiest one in Kanto runs. Time for our last rival fight before the Elite Four. Instantly, we missed 2 Mega Kicks in a row and ended up taking 3 Wing Attacks in process before we finally one-shot him. What an awful start. Rhyhorn was a one-shot with Water Pulse, and Growlithe lowered our attack with Intimidate before we took him down. Execute took decent damage off Hyper Voice, but we got paralyzed in the process. At least we took him down before he used Solar Beam. Alakazam let off a Future Sight as we easily two-shot him thanks to our Quick Claw, but finally on Blastoise, Future Sight kicked in and took us out. We were so close. I try again at level 72, and this time Quick Claw activates instantly, and we kicked Pidgeot down without taking a hit. Thanks to that, the battle went the same as before leading up to Alakazam, who I Mega Kicked this time for an easy one-shot. Blastoise hardly even tried to fight back, so we won a pretty easy fight overall. Alright, we need to prepare before the Elite Four, so let's take a look at our moveset again. It's alright, I guess, but there's a lot of room for improvement, and I don't think that this simple of a moveset will be good enough for the wide variety of types that I have to fight in the Elite Four. Right away, I convert a ton of money into coins to buy the TM for Ice Beam, since it's probably going to carry me through the entire Lance fight. I also get the TM for Shadow Ball, since it'll give us a much safer way through the Agatha fight than using Ice Beam and hoping for the best. I also replace Hyper Voice with Return, since it's a little bit stronger. After that, I grind up just a bit more. We hardly made it past our rival last time, so I'm gonna need to be stronger before I can finally beat him the final time. One more look at the stats at level 77. Our special defense is absolutely horrible, and our speed is pretty bad too. I just have to hope that our passable attack stat and strong moves are enough to carry us through to Victory Road. I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up having to grind more later though. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Ice Trainer Lorelei. It starts off rough as Dugong outspeeds us and makes it hail. Our Mega Kicks deal lots of damage, but her Surf messed us up in return. We finished it off, and next was Cloyster, who successfully stalls me out for ages by spamming Hail, Protect, and healing items. We're just too weak to make progress, and it's not worth learning Shockwave for this one battle, when Mega Kick would be doing much more damage to her whole team other than Cloyster anyway. I tried again at level 80, and thanks to our attacks doing just a little bit more damage, we managed to take out Cloyster much faster as she never landed in red health and thus never got healed. Next was Slowbro though, and we pretty easily got taken out again. It was largely thanks to a missed Mega Kick though, so with better luck I could probably win this. I try again, this time not even taking damage by the time I got to Slowbro, and I just hit return twice for an easy knockout. Lapras takes half of her health and damage from a return, but heals a bit with a berry and confuses us with Confuse Ray. I Mega Kicked to finish it, but we hit ourselves in confusion, then get crit by an Ice Beam, so we only have 6 health left. We then missed our second try at a Mega Kick, so we went down. This is cruel. 5 tries later, and we get to Lapras without being damaged again, and we do the same sequence of moves, but without hitting ourselves in confusion, and she goes down. Last is Jinx, and she outspeeds us and puts us to sleep, then hits a massive Ice Punch. She wasted her next turn going for a Tract when she could have finished me off, and we followed up by waking up, snapping out of confusion, and not being immobilized by love in the same turn to land the finishing blow. Oh man, we needed that. Second is Fighting Trainer Bruno. The first Onyx is an easy one-shot with Ice Beam, but the second is Hitmonchan, and this could be dangerous. Sky Uppercut takes us all the way down to less than a quarter health as we one-shot him in return. Hitmonlee misses his Mega Kick, so we actually got to take him down. Machamp easily finished us with a Cross Chop though. Honestly, we only got that far because Mega Kick missed us. We need to get faster. I come back at level 83, but we're still slower than both Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee, and get easily taken out. This is with us holding a Quick Claw, mind you. It's just not activating as much as we need it to. All I can do is level up until I outspeed them. Finally, at level 86, we're faster than Hitmonchan and one-shot him, although Hitmonlee still hurts us pretty badly. We Mega Kicked Machamp for big damage, he missed a big Cross Chop, and we finished him off with Return. That win was total luck on Cross Chop missing, but I'll take what I can get. Third is Ghost Trainer Agatha. Gengar is first and she builds up double teams, but our second attempt at Shadow Ball hit her and she never hit us, so we're good. Golbat instantly missed Air Cutter, and we one-shot her in return with Ice Beam, so that was pretty lucky. Arbok is next, so we lose attack to Intimidate, then get nailed by 2 huge Sludge Bombs, then poisoned before we finish it off. Another Gengar is out next, and we drop to 10 health off Sludge Bomb. Then Poison finally finished us. We got far, but it wasn't exactly a great run. At level 89, I try again. This time goes just about as clean as before up until Arbok. This time it tried for Screech, but we're immune to it because of Soundproof. Because of that, we only took 1 Sludge Bomb and didn't get poisoned by the end of the fight. The second Gengar still Sludge Bombed us though, and it even put us to sleep, but we woke up the next turn and finished it. Last is our Haunter, but it just used Mean Look, so we finished it off in 1 Shadow Ball. Fourth is Dragon Trainer Lance. Gyarados is out. Wait, aren't I calling that Water Onix now? Water Onix is out first, so our attack is down the whole fight. I used Return a few times anyway to get the knockout since he didn't hit us very hard. Second is Aerodactyl, and he did some solid damage, but 1 Ice Beam took him out. Dragonite was third, and he took us out with Outrage. Maybe if Quick Claw kicked in on the Dragonite, I could win that exchange. Weirdly enough though, on the very next try, he just used Safeguard instead of an attacking move, so I just one-shot him, then outsped and one-shot the rest of his team. He basically threw the fight. Finally, the Pokemon Champion. Right away, Ice Beam one-shots Pidgeot with a crit, although I doubt the crit was required. Alakazam put up Reflect and it saved him from Return that would have otherwise taken him out. He healed with a full restore, we hit Return again, he nailed us with a Psychic for over half of our health, and we finished him off. Executor nearly got taken out in 1 shot, but managed to hit Giga Drain and actually knocked us out. I need to do better against the Alakazam. I try again, this time using Shadow Ball on Alakazam, but it did almost the exact same amount of damage. I think that I'm gonna need to one-shot him with Mega Kick if I want to win this fight. Worst part is that on most attempts I either get hit by Sand Attack or by Feather Dance, so it takes a lot of tries to actually get this far in the fight. Finally, after tons of failed attempts, at level 93, we finally have Quick Claw activate, and we one-shot Alakazam. Considering he just used Psychic right away on some of these attempts, I really needed this. Executor was a one-shot with Ice Beam thanks to a few extra levels, and Rhydon was a one-shot with Ice Beam mostly thanks to his low special defense. Arcanine is second from last, and we get the first strike, but he deals massive damage with Flamethrower, and on the second turn he outsped us and finished us. That means we need Quick Claw to activate 3 times in this battle to get to Blastoise. That's just not happening. I'm gonna have to just come back at level 100. It's a good thing that I saved up a lot of rare candies. At level 100, we try again. We take a little bit of damage up front on Pidgeot thanks to Aerial Ace, but we still take him down just fine. And Alakazam is still faster than us at a little over half our level, but he let off a Future Sight, so we just one-shot him. Executor went down in one Ice Beam, as did Rhydon. As Arcanine came out, we lost Attack to Intimidate, and then got hit by the Future Sight from earlier to bring us to half health. Arcanine's Flamethrower dropped us to red health, Return took him to half, and another Flamethrower ended us. Okay, well I didn't think I'd have to resort to double team on this run, but it's better than just losing, so I guess I'll give that a try. First, I one-shot Pidgeot with Ice Beam. Then Quick Claw lets me take out Alakazam before he can hit us. Executor was a one-shot with Ice Beam, and this time on Rhydon, I start building up my double teams. I picked to do it against Rhydon since he already has some pretty inaccurate moves that aren't really all that strong. He does manage to hit Scary Face to lower our speed quite a bit, as well as Earthquake to take out a third of our health, but we got our 6 double teams and then Ice Beamed him down. Arcanine is next, and he missed his opening Flamethrower, so thanks to Return taking out half of his health and Quick Claw activating on round 2, we took him out. Last is Blastoise, and he's faster than us, missed with Hydro Pump that would have taken us out, and he did decent damage with Return. I used Shadow Ball next to try and avoid letting him land in red health as he used Rain Dance. Blastoise missed again, and I used Ice Beam, again to try and get him close to his heal point, but not quite at it. He missed one last Hydro Pump, and we finally hit Return for the victory, never dropping him into his healing range. That run was about as brutal as I thought it was going to be. I will say though, I thought that I'd get brick-walled less often than that. I really hope that you guys liked that run. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for next Saturday's Pokemon Challenge yet, though. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments and on the Pokemon section of my Discord channel, as well as on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. If you guys want to see me do more challenges like this, please let me know in the comments section or on Twitter. I can always use more ideas from you guys on what I should do next. Also, check out the playlist in the description if you guys want to see all the Pokemon challenges that I've already uploaded. If you guys want to see more Pokemon stuff from me, my friend What a Geek and I just finished a Gen 1 randomizer over on his channel, linked in the description. You can also watch myself, What a Geek, and Gooseit playing Pokemon Stadium here on my channel. Also, come to my Twitch TV streams and tell me that this video sent you. It's always cool to hear how you found the channel. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.